dun, 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 dun. Ta-da! Dun, dun, dun. It's wonderful. I feel like a child. It's just wonderful.
Hello and welcome back to Curiosity Mine. A while ago I made a video with the Australian Opal Centre featuring Weewarrasaurus pobeni, which is one of several dinosaurs to have been discovered on the opal fields at Lightning Ridge. In that video I spoke with Mike Poben, who discovered Weewarrasaurus, about the discovery and the amazing string of coincidences that led to it occurring, and ultimately what it's like to have a dinosaur named after you after decades of striving to find and preserve opalized fossils of all kinds. You can check that video out here, but I'm also going to give you a bit of a recap right now because the story's pretty awesome, and also because I have a little bit more to add to the Weewarrasaurus story thanks to some new friends of Curiosity Mine. But first, we need to talk about dinosaurs, discoveries, and children's entertainment. This is Mike Poben, an opal dealer and long-time fossil enthusiast.
I've always loved them for their intrinsic beauty and the fact that they were parts, for the most part, they were parts of living animals from so long ago. You know, it's a part of history. It's a part of, not human history, it's a part of Earth planet history. And I think they're all important in that respect.
In 2013, Mike made the amazing discovery of the jawbone of Weewarrasaurus in a parcel of opal that he bought.
But especially on the right-hand side, there was protruding a little fan-shaped ridge. And something in the back of my head said tooth. And if it was tooth, it was jawbone. And if it was jawbone, what was it and what was it from? And you know, oh my God.
Those jawbone fragments form the holotype for Weewarrasaurus pobeni and are now part of the collection of the Australian Opal Centre at Lightning Ridge. Weewarrasaurus is a dog-sized ornithopod or bird-like plant-eating dinosaur. I spoke with Dr. Phil Bell from the University of New England Armidale back in 2019 about Weewarrasaurus.
Based on the size of this jaw, Weewarrasaurus was a small animal, probably no bigger than a kelpie or a wallaby. These teeth were perfectly designed for shearing plants, so this was a herbivorous dinosaur. This would have been an animal that got around on two legs, had relatively short forearms. It probably moved in herds.
They're moving in herds.
It didn't have much in the way of defences, so herding and sticking with your family is a pretty good defence mechanism.
They do move in herds.
These animals were probably relatively common around Lightning Ridge. Although there's only these two jaws that we know of this species, this broader group of animals, what we call ornithopods, was quite common here among the most commonly recovered fossils that we find. So this suggests that these animals were quite numerous, again moving around in herds.
Herds.
And feeding on the lush vegetation that would have surrounded the waterways of Lightning Ridge 100 million years ago.
The story of Weewarrasaurus is just a gigantic string of amazing coincidences. Mike would never have found the jawbone specimens if he hadn't decided to quit teaching and go back to working with opal. The parcel itself could have been bought by another person, the piece could have been overlooked, and the second part of the jawbone that was in a separate parcel of opal and was almost sold off, that could have been lost entirely. And that's not to mention that all of this is only possible because this particular Weewarrasaurus creature died in the right place and in the right conditions to have ended up fossilised and able to be preserved for 100,000 millennia. And the odds were pretty wild on top of that Mike would end up meeting Weewarrasaurus in the flesh as well. But the planets aligned and we made it happen. This is Lisa from Real Dinosaurs, who manages the Dinomaniacs, a troupe of children's entertainers that operate a travelling show featuring dinosaurs.
Our company's called Real Dinosaurs and we're real people, but we like to go in these small towns that don't have the opportunity to see shows like ours.
I also had the opportunity to speak with Tara and Sean from the Dinomaniacs.
I've always just loved dinosaurs, and it's great to actually tell that, to create stories, to make other people's lives enriching and to bring that to life and just put smiles on faces is why we do what we do.
It's been like life-changing in a way.
The Dynamaniacs show is tremendous fun for the kids, with some great songs and a great little time travel adventure story to tie everything together. Everything's better with time travel. And the performances from Tara as Queen Tara and Sean as the Dino Doctor, and from the Dinosaur Wranglers, they're just incredibly professional and a lot of fun to watch. And needless to say, the dinosaurs are amazing as well. The night before the show, I had dinner at the Lightning Ridge Bowling Club bistro. Halfway through dinner, while the Dynamaniacs are setting up behind the scenes and preparing for the next morning's show, Toby the T-Rex comes wandering into the restaurant area of the bowling club like some kind of outtake from Jurassic Park. And yeah, it's pretty shocking to see a not quite life-sized but still pretty massive dinosaur walking around the room as people eat their dinner. But what I found really surprising is that it took my brain maybe 5 minutes maximum before it had completely accepted that this was a living dinosaur present in this space, resurrected from extinction 65 million years ago and on a completely different continent, and it was now stamping about in the bowling club while I finished off my schnitzel. It's a testament to the quality of the performances from the Dynamaniacs that even in an incongruous environment like a restaurant at dinner time, the dinosaurs literally just come to life and exist as living creatures. And when they're on stage, they're even better.
And we work as a team, so we have Toby the T-Rex now, we have Razor the Raptor, and then we have True and Joffrey. We have our original baby Tilda. You didn't see Tilda today, but she's our OG. And then we have Trixie the Triceratops.
And the Dynamaniacs have something a little closer to home for Lightning Ridge, a Weewarosaurus called Ozzy.
Well, I think it's a very special thing to have in our show because, you know, T-Rex is from America, Triceratops, once again, overseas. To actually have an Australian dinosaur, it really hits home to be showcasing the rare chance of what has happened, as in like the fossilization of the dinosaur. So for us to actually portray and show that through our show is not only special to us, but it's also educational to the people out there as well.
The story of Weewarosaurus is nothing but a huge string of coincidences, so the chances of the Dynamaniacs putting on a show in Lightning Ridge at the same time that Mike Pobin was also in town is pretty astronomical, but astronomical seems to be the name of the game with Weewarosaurus. So I organised for Mike, discoverer of the Weewarosaurus holotype, to have a first-hand encounter with a life-sized recreation of his own dinosaur.
I'm pleased to meet you. I can't tell you how happy I am. Oh, my stars, look at it. How's that? Yeah?
Oh, you got the spot.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's wonderful. He's kidding. I'm almost tearing up because, you know, sitting in my room waiting for people to show me more bits of you. But I wonder, you know, they might have been walking around here.
Yeah.
100 million years ago. What did they look like? What sounds did they make? How did they walk? What did they eat? And how did poor Weewarosaurus, the one that I found anyway, how did he die? You know? I never imagined that someone would bring Weewarosaurus alive like this, you know? You haven't just made my week, you've made my year. This is...
Fantastic. It's so great to meet you, to be able to...
The Dynamaniacs have both Ozzy, the tame Weewarosaurus that we see here, based on recreations of Weewarosaurus pobini, and also a domesticated Quantosaurus named Oi, which is based on Quantosaurus intrepidus, which was discovered in Inverloch, Victoria, and coincidentally is also a dinosaur that has been identified entirely from a jawbone fragment. Both of these creatures are similar in size and basic features, but there's about 15 million years and half a continent that separates them.
So like when we go through Ozzy and Oi, we have our Ozzy, 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 Oi, Oi, Oi chant.
Ozzy, Ozzy, Ozzy! Oi, oi, oi! Give yourself a big clap!
And Oi being a Quantosaurus, which was actually found in Inverloch, Victoria. So blending in the two because they're both omnivores and similar. So yeah, it's just super special.
Lightning Ridge and its dinosaurs, of which there are several, have been a big influence on the Dynamaniacs stage show and on the Dynamaniacs performers themselves.
You know, like Lisa came here, she found the dinosaur down here, or discovered that it had one down here, and was like, yep, that had to be.
It was quite significant to us because it was we love Lightning Ridge. So it's I would think I was actually drawn to it, if you know what I mean. One of the places I've always wanted to go to Lightning Ridge. We loved it, Daz and I, my partner. Had nothing to do with Opal, but when I was here, we said, these dinosaurs, there's dinosaurs, all these things, not taking too much in. And then when I came back from that trip, that was like, I want to design some Aussie dinosaurs, and that's when I went, dinosaurs, Lightning Ridge, yeah. And this is in the Wee Waratahs with that colour. It was quite significant to us because it was we loved Lightning Ridge.
So we stayed in Lightning Ridge for a few days. Meanwhile, Lisa had stayed here like whenever it was, and she was like, you've got to go to this place, Lightning Ridge. We knew that she'd modelled the dinosaur off the Wee Waratahs that we had, Aussie, but bringing that to life, being in the place that it was actually discovered, the fossils, that created the whole wow factor to it. Because we'd been to that place, the magic of our dinosaur, Aussie, really just came to life.
And since I've come here last year, it's like I've got a taste for it. I've got to come back every year. Like, I have to. I've got a taste for it. So yeah, it's been a journey, and I know it's only just starting, and I can't wait for the future.
My favourite part of this story is that all of this has happened externally to Lightning Ridge. The Dynamaniacs Wee Waratahs isn't something that was made because someone in Lightning Ridge arranged it. It's not something that's been created by a Lightning Ridge business or organisation. It's all happened somewhere else, purely organically. It's simply the result of some very enthusiastic people with a genuine interest in dinosaurs and a passion for entertaining and educating children and families who have learnt about an Australian dinosaur that happens to be from Lightning Ridge, and they've made it a reality, and that's pretty awesome. So that's the latest incredible coincidence in the 100 million year long chain of improbable events that has led to the discovery of Wee Waratahs and to Curiosity Mine and the Dynamaniacs conspiring to introduce Mike Poben to the closest we're going to get to a living Wee Waratahs Pobeni at Lightning Ridge.
The sliding doors moments, the right place at right time. If I had been offered a contract, I would still be in the classroom, and those pieces might never have been recognised for what they were and might have gone to all parts of the earth. But now those two pieces of jawbone are in Lightning Ridge, which is where they belong.
Yes.
You know, I'm so happy about that. Really, really happy.
This video was made with the support and participation of Real Dinosaurs and the cast of the Dynamaniacs, the Australian Opal Centre and Mike Poben. You'll find links in the description to find the AOC and Dynamaniacs on social media. Do check them out. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to Curiosity Mine on YouTube and following on all of the usual social media channels. The links are in the description, and thank you for watching.